I am so sorry. If there was anybody in the room, I deeply apologize for dropping you. Okay. I just found a bunch of different settings. Don't mind me. I'm just going to stare at the thing for a minute. No, I'm not. I'm not going to deal with that. Okay. I am coming down with some kind of cold. So today is going to be interesante. Muy interesante. Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay? Or did I just mute the microphone? Or dampen the microphone? I broke my phone stand not too long ago, so I've been operating with this like half-ass tabletop one. Okay, I'm early to class. Mostly because my brain is extremely foggy and I figured I might as well turn on the computer before I forget what time it is. Good morning. Hello. Today, we are doing a meditation. Today, we are sitting with our mudra. This is the bigger meditation day, right? Monday, we introduce the mudra, and we sit for just 5 minutes with it, several times usually. Wednesday is not even a live class anymore. I am intending to pull class into the Discord for Wednesdays. Offer a Wednesday class. The schedule's going to rearrange next year, and I'm going to kind of play with some moving parts in the next month or two. But we will continue to be live Monday, Friday, and Saturday. Hey, Thor, how are you? Monday is the here's your mudra, sit with it all week long, as much as you can. Saturday is the bigger meditation. We're going to sit with it for several minutes. And then Friday is tiny yoga, where we incorporate the mudra into our flow. Yeah. I'm wanting to pull Wednesday into our Discord so that I can offer more internal classes. Now, I want to say this too, because I know that coming off of lives and social media can be a little bit difficult sometimes and a little bit nerve-wracking. Like, not everybody wants to have the pressure of Zoom etiquette and things like that. So I totally understand. But I want to experiment with it. So for the next 2 months, November and December, I am going to start putting some classes into the Discord. And if people are showing up, then we'll keep doing it. If folks don't really have any interest in being in the Discord or being on Zoom for classes, then we'll just come back here and do the classes live. That's not a problem at all. I'd rather, you guys know how it is. I want the information to get out to you, right? CJ, you after a Tony Montana? What is a Tony Montana? Is it like a drink? I love the randomness. You guys know I like to talk about lives like we're sitting in a park, right? Sitting in a park, chatting away with some friends, and then you get random people who run by and like scream random things. It's like streaking kind of, right? But on social media, instead you just get people comments, me after Tony Montana, and then they're just fucking gone because you're like, what do you, never mind. It's hilarious, by the way. But it's also why I want to bring some of our classes into the Discord or into Zoom so that we don't have to deal with streakers running by screaming random nonsense. And it offers us a way to be more, to create more of a safe container, right, for our classes so that we can really deepen our experience of this CAYA space. CAYA, CAYA, stands for come as you are, because authenticity is the goal here, right? That's what your system is intended to do. Your system is not intended to fall kowtow and slave away to some powers that be that are not at all concerned with your well-being. Autonomy is your purpose. Our actualization is your purpose. Experience. Thor, nobody beats your random nonsense. I don't know. I'm starting to like find a pattern to your nonsense. I love your nonsense. I appreciate your nonsense. I'm talking about the nonsensical nonsense that I'm like, it doesn't even make any sense. I don't even get it. If I got it, I'd get it and it would be funny, but I don't even get it. It's not even funny because I can't even get it. Abby, oh yay, I'm so glad, hon. Guys, remember, this is the whole point in this space. Information is free in this space. Ask questions here in the live. Ask questions on my content, because on my content, here in the live, I get to answer you, right? But in the content, I get to make a video for you that you can download and keep a tool or a reminder. Guys, I'm sick, so my head is not completely here. Thanks, Kenny. I'm a thrifter, so this is one of my really nice thrifty things I found. And Abby Go Lucky, I so appreciate you asking the question. So you guys those of you who've been in here for a while, know that I have this really big toolbox that I spent a lot of years developing, right? I purposely went to school for 12 years plus for human development and wellness. I purposely went to therapy for many, many years. I purposely went and did certifications and workshops and all these other things so that I could figure out how to human. Because I was like, I don't know how to fucking human. And these humans that I'm around are weird people. I want to know how to human. So I went and did all of this stuff for me. And I built this massive toolbox back here, which is super, super helpful. Except for the life of me, I have not been able to sit down and turn it into the things that I want to turn it into, which are like workshops and classes and certification programs and textbooks. I have an entire parenting theory that I can explain, but I pretty much cannot put down into text. And I can respond. So here's the biggest thing. If you guys know human design, I'm just learning. Hey guys, good morning, welcome in. My authority in human design is to respond. And when I read that, I went, I believe human design. Like immediately was like, yes, this thing has some truth to it, because it has always been the situation where I can't access this information. I mean, I'm sitting here sick and it took me several minutes, probably hours last night to finally go, oh, right, I'm an herbalist and I have medicine I made that I was going to bring to my neighbor who was sick. Go fucking take the medicine. oh, right. But when you guys ask me a thing, it's like the little toolbox trolls, like start tinkering away and then like deliver, you know, the thing is at the bank. Or Willy Wonka, they like deliver a little message. I'm like, here you go. Here's a mudra. Here's a mantra. Try this mindfulness practice and couple it with these herbs and you'll be golden. But I can't do that otherwise. Ruben, I love you too. I love you guys. Kenny, immune systems. So I was actually just thinking about that, right? My son and I live really rural. We don't live in a sterile environment. We live very close to the earth and we have several animals, cats and dogs. But so I rarely get sick, but when I get sick, it's almost always after going out and peopling. And what did we do this weekend? It was Halloween. It was peopling. And we did more peopling this weekend than I think I've done all fucking year in one block. We went to a Halloween party. We went to trick-or-treating. We went to a Halloween thing last year. Like we did a bunch of stuff. So I'm pretty sure I just picked up the ickies from peopling. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Well, and that's the thing. I think part of why things like we get so sick in those environments is partially because we are also living in sterilized environments. And it's the same thing with hospitals, right? Those things actually can fester in hospitals, even though they do all those cleanliness things because of our immune systems. But that's not the topic, guys. Hold on. See, I told you I was going to forget. Hold on. Let's get YouTube. At the very least, we need to invite YouTube to the party. YouTube is essential for this whole shebang because I keep all of my replays on YouTube, so I have to open YouTube. Hold on a minute. Let's go ahead. Ashley, what's the topic? The topic today is our Dharmachakra Mudra. We're going to sit with our Dharmachakra Mudra. It's the Mudra for the week. We're going to sit for a longer meditation. Like I said, I'm a little under the weather, so we're going to do a pretty simple meditation. It's going to require visualization, but listen here. Listen here. Don't walk away as soon as I say visualization. If you're like, oh, I can't visualize, that's okay. You don't have to perfectly visualize all the details and colors and whatever of what I'm speaking about. Remember that the most important things in meditation or in mindfulness in general are your intention and your attention. And then meeting whatever comes up with curiosity and willingness. So, as long as you're doing that, you're getting benefit from the practice. Even if you don't get anything in your mind's eye, even if you don't feel anything like, wavy or woozy or weird in your body. Thank you, Courtney. I think we go into meditation oftentimes expecting to have a visceral experience or a very profound experience. And let me tell you how many years it took me to have massively profound experiences in meditation. And the more I tried to force or focus or the more I tried to do in meditation, like these really big, complex, super whatever guided meditations, those are great and fun. You'll receive benefit from them. But I know it sounds straight, but there's something really profound about the simplest of practices. Carry water, wash rice. Carry water, wash rice. You want to start to meditate? You want to develop a deep practice of meditation that's beneficial to you, not just a cool little habit you do sometimes? Start with the most simple pieces. Cultivate your intention and bring your attention back to that intention as many times as it takes during the practice. So we're going to sit today. We're going to sit with our mudra in our hands. And we're going to sit. You guys are going to sit with me while I walk you through. It's a kind of yoga nidra-y meditation. So if you'd like to lay down for today's meditation, you can totally do that. Hold on. I'm still don't have YouTube up and running yet. I'm sorry. Hold on. When I am not, when my head is stuffy like so, I don't focus well. So the shenanigans will be extra wiggly today. All right. So you can sit, you can lay down for this meditation, and just listen to the story. Just follow the story. We're going to do a little bit of visualization. We're going to, what? Thor, what? Cascadian, I've always been a legend in my own mind. Nice. Kendrick, how old is the tattoo on my head? This one? And I've always been a legend in my own mind. Nice. Kendrick, how old is the tattoo on my head? This one? I got these last year. Abby, how long is the meditation? Ooh. So let me point out that you do not have to stay for the entire meditation. Stay for as long as feels good to you. The most, not most important, because I just said most important P was the simple stuff, right? The second most important thing is just sit with the mudra for a minimum of 5 minutes. If you can just do 5 minutes a day, you're going to start receiving benefit from the mudra. The mudras work by redirecting the energy through the channels in your body. When you sit for about 5 mudras work by redirecting the energy through the channels in your body. When you sit for about 5 minutes, sit for another 5 minutes, and now you've had 5 minutes. Sit for another 5 minutes, and now you've had 5 minutes. circulate through your whole system. So obviously each 5-minute block you do, you're going to end up getting more and more benefit, exponentially more benefit. So this is also why we hold our mudras with intention, not tension. If you're squeezing your fingers or holding your arms super tight, you're creating tension in your body and your muscles, and that is hard to maintain for an extended period of time. Even just for 5 minutes, it's hard to hold your muscles really fucking tight for 5 minutes. So let's not do that. Plus making me sweat. Every single time I tighten my muscles, it makes me sweat. So we're not gonna do that, okay? That's not gonna help. It's like a tiny little shredded, tiny little thing, okay. But this is my favorite type of meditation because we're going to go on a little sensory journey. We're going to move through the body. So instead of needing to focus so much or to quiet the mind so much, the meditation itself will lead you away from the thought, from the thinking brain. So we make it easy. We make it pretty easy. All you gotta do is cultivate your intention and your attention and meet whatever comes up with curiosity and willingness, because therein lies your system's intrinsic wisdom. All right, Instagram, are you gonna participate properly today? Maybe. Bonita, you missed Monday's mudra. Yes, absolutely. Maybe. Bonita, you missed Monday's mudra. Yes, absolutely. Okay, for you, a movement facilitator and you're a shenanigan shaman. So expect shenanigans in this space. Every Sunday, I post a video showing you how to do the mudra for the week. I do it 2 ways, with the camera right here so I can show you how to do it. Sunday, I post a video showing you how to do the mudra for the week. I do it 2 ways, with the camera right here so I can show you how to do it. And pinning them at the top of my content on my profile. So, and pinning them at the top of my content on my profile. So, another cool thing that we're doing. Profile. So, another cool thing that we're doing. Monday, we meet at 10 a.m. Pacific time here on TikTok, also on YouTube, sometimes on other platforms. It's been Instagram lately, but Instagram is annoying, so it won't be forever. We will practice the mudra. You can ask questions, we can talk about it. And then Friday, we couple the mudra with tiny yoga, our 30-minute chair yoga flow. And then again, Saturday is the big meditation. So here is the mudra for the week. If you missed Monday's class, right? Or you just want your mudra every week, just come check out my profile on Sunday or Monday, okay? Ashley, I keep freezing. Uh-oh. All right, here is your mudra. Both hands. Bring your index fingers and your thumbs to touch. Extend all 3 fingers like this. This is the Gyan mudra. This is a really foundational mudra, probably the most common mudras you will see. This is not our mudra. This is just part of the mudra. Like this. This is the Gyan mudra. This is a really foundational mudra, probably the most common mudras you will see. This is not our mudra. This is just part of the mudra. This is the Take the Gyan mudra with both hands. Bring it here. Leave your right hand where it is. Flip your left hand so the palm is facing. Take the Gyan mudra with both hands. Bring it here. Leave your right hand where it is. Flip your left hand so the palm is facing in. Connect that middle finger of the left hand to the thumb and index on the right. Now, this is one of those mudras where you could create tension pretty easily. If you push your fingers open and squeeze these points, these circles closed here, you're going to create tension, right? I invite you to do that for just a moment. I want you to squeeze this mudra. I want you to put closed here. You're going to create tension, right? I invite you to do that for just a moment. I want you to squeeze this mudra. I want you to put tension into the... How long do you think you're going to be able to hold that? Can you feel that in your hands? It's mudra. I want you to put tension into the... How long do you think you're going to be able to hold that? Can you feel that in your hands? I sure can. Shake it out. I Don't shake it out. Intention. I'm gonna add another piece here. Actually, it's not a piece of the mudra, but I wanna pause here for a second because I was just thinking about this last night. Squeeze those points together for a moment. Not super, super hard, but squeeze them together. See if you can feel your heartbeat in your fingertips. Can you feel your heartbeat in your fingertips? Can you feel at least pressure in your fingertips from squeezing them together? You feel that very real connection of flesh pushing on flesh, bone underneath. Yes. Okay. Now loosen up your connection. Not to the point where you let go, but point almost before you let go. But the point almost before you let go. Before you let go is when you're going to start feeling that buzz of energy. This is how you want. Before you let go is when you're going to start feeling that buzz of energy. This is how you want your connection. Energy is not a, it's not a lot of things. It's an ethereal thing. It's an intangible thing, right? It's not a tangible thing. When we work with tangible things, we use hammer. It's an ethereal thing. It's an intangible thing, right? It's not a tangible thing. When we work with tangible things, we use hammer and nails, force. When we work with the intangible things, we use our intention. Hammer and nails, force. When we work with the intangible things, we use our intention. Keeps the channels open and allows it to flow more freely through. This is a really good example. Keeps the channels open and allows it to flow more freely through. This is a really good example for feels, right? I'm in the middle way here. I'm connected without tension, with only intention. A really good example for feels, right? I'm in the middle way here. I'm connected without tension, with only intention. I'm not creating tension. Middle way. Connect them with intention. I'm not creating tension. Middle way. Connect them with intention. All right. Take both hands in the Gyan Mudra. Leave the right hand where it is. Flip the left inward so the palm is facing in, and make the connection between the middle finger. Connect them with intention. All right. Take both hands in the Gyan Mudra. Leave the right hand where it is. Flip the left inward so the palm is facing in, and make the connection between the middle finger of the left hand, thumb and index of the right. Now let's take a minute. Feel free to adjust here. You might need to turn your middle finger of the left hand, thumb and index of the right. Now let's take a minute. Feel free to adjust here. You might need to turn your elbows or and find a comfortable place to be with this mudra. I would not suggest holding this mudra out here like this with your elbows way out. I'm sorry guys about the about it freezing. How about now? I just kicked off YouTube and Instagram. Okay, let's try again. Tell me if I am still Instagram. Okay, let's try again. Tell me if I am still lagging. If I'm I'm even going to turn the internet off. So we literally just had them upgrade our internet to the super bestest internet, and now none of my devices want to work on the internet. Thanks. Give me just a sec. Turn that off too. Are we loud and clear now? Okay. We'll just have to upload the replay to YouTube later. Ready? Coming in loud and clear. All right. It was YouTube and Instagram that were bringing down the party. What are we gonna do? All right. So remember that YouTube's replays will be on YouTube once I get them uploaded and downloaded. Here is our mudra for today. Here is the Dharmachakra mudra. Bring the index. Here is our mudra for today. Here is the Dharmachakra mudra. Bring the index and the thumb in tension, not tension. Keep those other finger extended with intention, not tension. Hold them here at the heart. Bring the index and the thumb in tension, not tension. Keep those other finger extended with intention, not tension. Hold them here at the heart. Keep the right hand with the left inward. Now make the connection between the left's middle finger here with the left inward. Now make the connection between the left's middle finger here, still in the Gyan Mudra, palm facing out. Left hand here. Make that connection with the middle finger of the left hand. All right. Let's get our posture, and then we're going to sink right into the meditation. Just a couple of things. Stay for as long as you can stay. Give yourself permission to move on when you're ready to move on. Just a couple of things. Stay for as long as you can stay. Give yourself permission to move on when you're ready to move on. This will be a However, we will take our time with it. This is kind of a yoga. However, we will take our time with it. This is kind of a yoga intentional process to sink into the meditation. So if you're somebody who says you struggle to meditate or struggle to focus or you don't get visualizations and stuff like that, stay here, hang out for a while and see how deep you can sink into this. So when I lead meditations, it is generally a story that starts to manifest with my pirates up here. So I hope you are, damn it, I'm on a SO train again doing this bunch of SOs. Find yourself a comfortable space to sit or lay down if you would like to, or lean back. I should probably be leaning back for this, but that's okay. Lisbeth, I have God. God exists in my heart. Christ lives with me every day. And it's through the lens of Christ consciousness and through my deep, close relationship with God that I know that you are perfect exactly as you are, and so am I. That I am loved, and so are you. And that Christ and God have never, ever, ever encouraged me to judge or condemn someone else because they do not believe and live exactly as I do. This is not a space for condemnation. If you cannot be personally responsible enough to meet each other with others with curiosity and willingness, then you can leave. Not a space for condemnation. If you cannot be personally responsible enough to meet each other with others with curiosity and willingness, then you can leave. Meeting each other where we're at, leave. Meeting each other where we're at, willingness. Okay. Dharmachakra mudra. Go ahead and close your eyes. Ashley, it'll be on the replay. Yeah, Gary, all the heavens, all the hells are within you. This is one of my favorite concepts. Hold on. We're going to go there, okay? We're going to go there today. Let's go there today. Close your eyes. Let's go there today. Close your eyes. Let's begin by taking just 3 deep. Let's begin by taking just 3 deep breaths. First, through the lungs and into your belly. And sigh it out. Through the lungs and into your belly. And sigh it out. Into your belly. And sigh it out. Lifting the heart and lifting through the top of the head to elongate the spine. Exhale, melting the shoulder blades down your back, gently tucking the chin to bring in tension to your posture. Allow your shoulders to soften. You can even give your elbows a little bit of a flap to make sure that they're loosey-goosey. Go ahead and adjust a little bit so that you can relax your arms so that they hang from your shoulders without creating tension. Seal the lips and just follow the breath for several breaths. Find the rhythm, following your inhale all the way to the top for several breaths. Find the rhythm, following your inhale all the way to the top. Exhale all the way up. Take your time here. And any distractions, any thoughts, any worries, any fears, any sounds outside of you or inside of you, any protests, anything that comes up, inhale it and exhale it. As we sink into our practice, you can rest your attention. As we sink into our practice, you can rest your attention or on the sound of your breath. Anytime that attention wanders away to something else, we gently bring it back. Refocus. Anytime that attention wanders away to something else, we gently bring it back. Refocus. We're on the mudra. Right now, there is nothing more, nothing less than the breath and the mudra. Everything else is falling away. This is the foundation of our practice. Return to this place anytime anything becomes too intense or you become too distracted. Return to the breath and bring the attention back to the breath again and again. Return to the breath and bring the attention back to the breath again and again. Inhaling the exhaling any tension in the breath, body, or being. Now I invite you to bring all of your attention into your left thumb, All of your attention, all of your awareness inside of your left thumb. Feel the length of the thumb. Locate the knuckle of the thumb without moving the thumb. Just move your awareness through the thumb. Find the point where the thumb and the index finger of your left hand connect. Bring all of your attention to this through the thumb. Find the point where the thumb and the index finger of your left hand connect. Bring all of your attention to this point. Attention back to that point. Make sure you're not squeezing it too tight. And move all of your attention through the index finger on your left. And move all of your attention through the index finger on your left hand, length of your left index finger. Notice where the knuckle is without moving the finger. Slide your awareness down between your index finger and your middle finger and up, moving the finger. Slide your awareness down between your index finger and your middle finger and up the middle finger. Follow the length of the middle finger, noticing the knuckle as you pass over. Notice where the tip of the middle finger touches the fingers of the right hand. And pass back over the middle finger, over the fingernail, over the outside of the middle finger, and down between the middle finger and the ring finger. Up the inside of the ring finger to the tip of the finger, and down between the middle finger and the ring finger. Up the inside of the ring finger to the tip of the ring finger side, noticing the knuckle as you pass by, swinging through the low point between the ring and the pinky, and back up to the tip of the left pinky finger. All of your attention, all of your awareness, all of your focus in your left pinky finger. Pull that awareness down your left pinky finger and across your palm, as if all of your attention is resting inside of the palm of your left hand. All of your attention, all of your focus in the palm of your left hand. Can you feel the creases in your left hand without moving your hand, just with your attention? Wrap your attention around the back of your left hand, the entire left hand. Moving your attention now up through the left wrist, the left forearm, the left elbow, inside of the left elbow. Rest all of your attention inside of the left elbow. Like a hand around your upper arm, wrap your attention around the entire upper arm, sliding it up through the shoulder gently, lovingly, wrapping it around the shoulder and sliding down into your armpit. Rest your attention inside of your left armpit for a few moments. Breathe. A nice steady rhythm of inhales and exhales. Drag your awareness down your left side body all the way into your left hip. All of your awareness on the left side of your hip. Expand the awareness of the left hip. All of your awareness on the left side of your hip. Expand the awareness round to the left side and the back of the left side. Sink the awareness deep into the hip, through the hip joint, and allow it to drain into the leg, filling your entire thigh. Can you spread your awareness out for your entire left thigh? Through, around, in between the muscles and tendons, tangling veins and nerves, as you push the awareness into your left knee. Condensed from the left thigh all into the left knee. All of your attention at the back of your left knee. Slide the attention down your calf and across your shin, the entire left leg. All of your attention on the entire attention down your calf and across your shin, the entire left leg. All of your attention on the entire left leg. Now bring it right down into the inside of your left ankle. Inside of your left ankle. All of your attention, all of your focus condensed into the left inside of your left ankle. Wrap it around your entire ankle and pull it over the top of your foot. all of your attention, all of your awareness, slowly moving over the top of your foot, reaching your left of your foot. All of your attention, all of your awareness, slowly moving over the top of your foot, reaching your left pinky. All of your attention, all of your focus in your left pinky toe. All of your attention, all of your focus in the left second toe. All of your attention, all of your focus in the left third toe. All of your attention, all of your focus in the left fourth toe. All of your attention, all of your focus in the left big toe. All of your attention, all of your focus in the left fourth toe. All of your attention, all of your focus in the left big toe. Right underneath left big toe. Every ounce of attention that you have compacted into the left big toe, underneath the nail of the left big toe. Drag your attention down the bottom, across the bottom of the left foot, the entire left foot, all the left toes, ankle, leg, all the way up the left side body, over the left side of your chest and left side of your lungs and rib cage, over the left shoulder, and let it fall down your back. All of your attention, all of your awareness, rolling down your entire back. Give it a few moments there. Watching the waves of awareness roll over your back. Watching the waves of awareness roll over your back. Bring all of your attention. Bring all of your attention. Space. Take a deep breath in. And exhale your attention out to your right pinky finger. Let the attention move through you from your back to your heart, out to your right pinky finger. Slide the awareness, move through you from your back to your heart, out to your right pinky finger. Slide the awareness inside and up the outside of the right ring finger, to the tip of the right ring finger, down the inside of the right inside, and up the outside of the right ring finger, to the tip of the right ring finger, down the inside of the right ring finger, in the fingers and up the inside of the right middle finger. Pause at the knuckle without moving the finger. Notice the knuckle of the right middle finger. Pull your awareness to the tip of the right middle finger, down the inside of the right middle finger and up the inside of the right pointer. Notice the knuckle as you pass over and bring your awareness to rest on the connection point between the right index and thumb. The connection point between the right index and thumb and left middle. All of your attention between the right index and thumb and left middle. All of your attention, all of your focus spot. And pull your awareness back into the right palm. All of your attention, all of your awareness in the right palm. Palm. All of your attention, all of your awareness in the right palm. Drag wrist, right forearm, right elbow. All of your attention inside of your right elbow. Pull your awareness up your right arm, over your right shoulder, and into your right armpit. Take a deep breath here. And exhale as you allow your awareness to slide down the right side body, the entire right side body, right rib cage, right breast, right hip, right joint, leg joint, and then drain the awareness into your right thigh. All of your awareness wrapping around the bone in your right. Drain the awareness into your right thigh. All of your awareness wrapping around the bone in your right. Drain the awareness into your right thigh. All of your awareness wrapping around the bone in your right. Wrapping around the skin, all the way around and through your right thigh. All of your attention, all of your awareness, your right. Wrapping around the skin, all the way around and through your right thigh. All of your attention, all of your awareness. Push your awareness down into your knee, condensing everything into your right knee. The entire right knee, front, sides, and back. All of your awareness wrapping around your right knee. Drag the awareness down. All of your awareness wrapping around your right knee. Drag the awareness down through the right calf, shin, into the right ankle. All of your awareness to the outside of the right ankle. All of your attention, all of your awareness to the outside of the right ankle. Drag the attention again across the top of the right foot. Notice the bones and tendons in the top of the right foot as you move into the right big toe. All of your attention, all of your focus in the right big toe. Move it to the right second toe. Move your attention to the right third toe. Move your attention to the right pinky toe. All of your attention, all of your focus on the right pinky toe. Deep breath. And exhale. All of your attention dragging across the bottom of your foot. Try not to tickle your foot. All of your attention in the entire right foot, entire right leg, the entire right leg. Now up through the entire right side body. Now resting your awareness all the way, bringing it all the way up through the entire body to rest it at the base of your neck. That T1, C7 area, right at the base of your neck. All of your attention, all of your focus, all of your awareness on the base of your neck. Drag it up the length of your neck, over the back of your head, over the top of your, drag it up the length of your neck, over the back of your head, over the top of your head. Awareness over your forehead, down the bridge of your nose, and rest it on the very tip of your nose. Keep your eyes closed. Rest all of your attention on the very tip of your nose. Breathe. Imagine a light, as a kind of light that is shining on the tip of your nose. With your eyes closed, you can see this little spark on the tip of your nose. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale through the nose or through the mouth, do so slowly, intentionally, and send that light out in front of your nose. Not too far, just a little ways out. And let it stop where it feels good to stop, within arm's reach, let's say. Focus all of your attention, all of your awareness on this spark, directly in front of the tip of your nose, a little ways out in front of you. Notice this spark. Give it all of your attention, all of your focus. And then move this spark above your right shoulder. Again, you don't need to move your head. Move your awareness in your mind's eye over to above your right shoulder. All of your attention, all of your awareness on the spark above your right shoulder. Now move that spark to your left shoulder. Let it move however it moves over to your left shoulder, hovering above your left shoulder. All of your attention, all of your focus on this point of light hovering above your left shoulder. Lift the point of light now to above the top of your head. As you shift your awareness, you may fall, you may find yourself landing on points. Allow your awareness to land on these points where you see this spark. If you don't have visuals, again, just set the intention to move your attention and feel into it. The spark hovering above the top of your head. All of your attention, all of your focus. With this spark hovering above your head, I invite you to inhale again, lengthening the spine, seeing if you can lift just a little bit higher with the help of that spark above your head. Move that spark now to directly behind you, directly behind your nose. Just a little way now to directly behind you, directly behind your nose. Just a little ways behind. The spark is now behind you, a little ways behind your head. Can you feel your awareness in this place? Resting it on this spark, hovering, floating in the air. Feel your awareness in this place. Resting it on this spark, hovering, floating in the air. Stay with the breath. We're going to use this spark to activate our inner vision. This spark to activate our inner vision. With a quick inhale, pull this spark of awareness from behind you directly up into your third eye with a kind of pop. When your eyes open behind you, directly up into your third eye with a kind of pop. When your eyes open around you, go ahead and inhale that spark directly into your third eye, allowing you to open and see the forest around you. Breathe. Breathe. Feel the cool air on your upper lip. Notice the sounds. Notice the sounds in the distance. Birds, the leaves. Breathe. Take it in. Notice any sensation. Notice any sensations you can. Is it bright? Is it dark? Is it warm? Is it cool? Any sensations you can. Is it bright? Is it dark? Is it warm? Is it cool? Are there birds? Are there lots of trees or just a few? Are there lots of trees or just a few? Long? Are they densely wooded? Allow yourself to absorb this space with all your senses. Vision, sight is just one of your senses. Set the intention to experience this, all your senses. Vision, sight is just one of your senses. Set the intention to experience this forest through all your senses. Stay with the breath. Continue absorbing this space until you can feel yourself sinking into it. Now bring your awareness back to your breath. Notice the cool sensation of the inhale on your upper lip. Notice the warmth of the exhale on your upper lip. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Noticing the rhythm of the breath. Bringing it into this space. As you breathe, notice the way the wind moves with your breath. Notice the way the sounds of the birds rise and fall with your inhale and exhale. Finding rhythm within. As you sit here breathing, riding the waves, the ebb and flow of the universe, I invite the ebb and flow of the universe. I invite you to move your awareness out in front of your third eye. Bring that little spark out in front of your third eye. I invite you to move your awareness out in front of your third eye. Bring that little spark out in front of your third eye again. And let it travel. Let it travel all the way to one of these trees. Watch from where you sit as that spark travels all the way to one of those trees and stops just in front of the tree. Do you remember how we got in this forest? The way we quickly inhaled our spark back into our third eye? This time, when we inhale that spark, we become the tree. This time, when we inhale that spark, we become the tree. Ready? Bring your attention back to that spark. See it out in front of you, in front of a tree. Take a deep breath. Exhale. you're ready, quick inhale and put yourself in that tree. Bring that awareness right back into your third eye. Can you see yourself sitting there, holding your mudra in the middle of the forest? Can you see yourself sitting there, holding your mudra in the middle of the forest? Birds, the sun still warming your skin, but instead of feeling that now, birds, the sun still warming your skin, but instead of feeling that now, there's a different feeling within you. There's a different feeling within you. Still the rise and fall of the breath. That same inhale. Still the rise and fall of the breath. That same inhale and exhale that expands and contracts my lungs lives here in this tree as well. That same inhale and exhale that expands and contracts my lungs lives here in this tree as well. That ebb and flow, change. Feel the way that feels in the tree. As you watch yourself in the forest, continuing to breathe. You can stay here as long as you would like. You can stay here as long as you would like. Experiencing the flexibility of space and time itself, the interconnectedness, the flexibility of space and time itself, the interconnectedness, the unity that exists in the fabric of the universe. Stay here as long as you would like. When you are ready to close, stay here as long as you would like. When you are ready to close, invite space to stand and begin walking toward the tree. That's right. Go hug yourself. Watch yourself walk towards the tree. And wrap your arms around the tree. With a deep breath in and a slow, steady exhale. With a deep breath in and a slow, steady exhale, feel yourself back into your own body, into your own mind, into your own energy space. Inhale your presence in your own body. Exhale with an open mouth, your presence in your own body. Exhale with an open mouth. 2 more. Inhale again, back in your body. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale again, back in your body. Exhale. Take a little more breath in. And let that shit go. Drop your mudra, drop the breath, drop the visuals. Keep your eyes closed for a moment and just be. Be with the sensations in your hands, in your arms, in your bodies, in your mind, in your bodies, in your mind, in your breath. Stay here. Stay here. A moment to warm back up to being in your body. Bring your awareness again to your fingers. Wiggle your fingers a little bit. Bring your awareness to your toes. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Bring your awareness to your wrists and arms and torso and legs, shoulders, head, neck. Without opening your eyes, start moving your body around. Giving yourself some stretches and some wiggles. Before you open your eyes, I invite you to bring your hands together in prayer or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for this practice, in gratitude for this space, in gratitude for the tools like this mudra that allow for this practice, in gratitude for this space, in gratitude for the tools like this mudra that allow us to and strengthen our system, that allow us and strengthen our systems. That guides us in and out of our systems. In gratitude for that prana, that divine life force that is always flowing through the path of least resistance to bring you to your highest good in every single moment. In gratitude. In gratitude. Offer yourself gratitude as well for taking the time for self-care today. I'm so fucking proud of you. I'm glad you showed up today. I barely did. So thank you guys for showing up and joining me for today's meditation and cultivating this CAYA space where we can learn and grow and thrive together. When you are finally ready to come out of meditation completely, I encourage you to rub your palms together and cup them over your eyes, fluttering your eyes open before removing your hands. It is absolutely normal after you sat for a while. Holy shit, that was like 30 minutes, guys. After you've sat for a while, it is totally normal for it to take a little bit for your vision to come back. In fact, I encourage you to take those moments to pause after your practice to feel how different your body feels, your mind feels, your thoughts feel, your breath feels. Allow yourself to sink back into your space the same way you sink back into your body in meditation. You guys are very welcome. I will post the replay on YouTube. I shut down the other platforms because we were having lagging issues. So hopefully we had no lagging issues during the meditation today. Oh, yay, pretty toots. Was it really that long? I almost fell asleep a few times. Yay! You're very welcome, guys. So for those of you who are new here, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I'm an interfaith minister, a movement facilitator, and your shenanigan shaman. And this is our Bhakti Bites class. Bhakti means devotion. So devotion to what? Some random deity, some dogmatic whatever, some paradigm. No, not really, actually. Just devotion to your inner guru. Your inner guru. Your inner guru. Your inner guru that helps you discover your truth. Your inner guru that helps you discover your truth. That helps you. You can find guru after guru after guru outside of you if you want. But when you're sitting in meditation and your guru says, put your spark out in front of your nose, if you don't do that with your intention and your attention, there's nothing your guru can do for you. That is why we must cultivate our inner guru. It's that inner guru that I call my inner captain. It's my inner guru that says, that's so funny. Sorry. Just laughing at my, yeah. It's my inner guru that says nothing when I try to prompt it to say something. It says what it wants to say when it says it. My inner guru that says nothing when I try to prompt it to say something. It says what it wants to say when it says it. Oh, so let's over to YouTube. I am Move a Change on YouTube. Courtney, you were vibrating at a couple of points when you said like connect to the tree spark. Yeah. So one of the cool things, one of the things here in the West, we have this idea about ourselves, right? About our consciousness, that if you ask most people where their awareness, where their consciousness lives, it's kind of like here, right? Like somewhere in the front of the brain, somewhere in the eyes where their consciousness lives. It's kind of like here, right? Like somewhere in the front of the brain, somewhere in the eyes, we just know my awareness is here. It's in my head somewhere. Nate, I'm so glad you're here. Turned your day around. Woo woo. Take that with you and use it anywhere you want to. Nate, I'm so glad you're here. Turned your day around. Woo woo. Take that with you and use it anywhere you want to. Again, Dharmachakra Mudra is the mudra that creates a mirror for our interconnectedness, helps us see the inner and outer realities we experience, as well as improves our lung capacity, deepens our breathing, improves and balances and strengthens the heart chakra, and encourages a feeling of empathy and compassion within us. Because when we understand our interconnectedness, it breeds compassion naturally, right? We're not judgmental and combative and divisive when we realize that we are all so deeply interconnected. And when you suffer, I suffer, not in a codependent way, but in a collective way. Andrew, I have tried to figure out the lighting in this space, and it just ends up being some fun, contrasty mood lighting. It's what we do. Oh, there you go. Turn up your brightness. Yeah. We are our own gurus. We can take responsibility. We are our own gurus. We can take responsibility for our Gaby? Is it Gabby or Gaby? For our Gaby? Is it Gabby or Gaby? Burial videos are. Is it Gabby or Gaby? Burial videos are for. Here, and one of my tools. Burial videos are for. Here, and one of my tools in the and teach people how to do their own home. And teach people how to do their own home. Usually around Halloween, and I and burial usually around Halloween, and I and burial. So I go and I do my research again every year. I get the basic stuff, and then I go look again every year for you guys to try to keep things updated. It's not going to be the end all be all in your search again every year. I get the basic stuff, and then I go look again every year for you guys to try to keep things updated. It's not going to be the end all be all in your state, because and then in some areas you'll have unique your baseline, and then if you want to actually bury at home or you want to have a home funeral and things like that, then do more research. So those videos will cover every single state. I'll get through all 50 states, and then we are actually doing a home funeral workshop for free. It's on Zoom, and today is day 3. So we did day 1 on Halloween. We did pre-planning and how to have the conversation. Day 2, today is day 3. So we did day 1 on Halloween. We did pre-planning and how to have the conversation. Day 2, we during the first 3 days and kind of how to deal with different situations over those first 3 days after someone passes. On day 1, we talked about what it looks like up until the moment of death. Day 2, we talked about the moment after death and the first 3 days. And then today, after someone passes. On day 1, we talked about what it looks like up until the moment of death. Day 2, we talked about the moment after death and the first 3 days. And then today, going to go over actually how to move a dead body around, how to redress and wash somebody who after they have passed. Today, I'm going to go over actually how to move a dead body around, how to redress and wash somebody who after they have passed, how to do their hair, essential oils and anointing for different blessings. As an interfaith minister, it's something that I really love to incorporate with things like herbalism and energy work, right? So I've got different prayers and ceremony things that I will offer today in class. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to structure it because I'd like to get my massage table out and actually like show you guys a thing today. For everyone, listen. Okay. The brain is really mushy today. Information in this space is free. Knowledge is power. Those that control the information control the paradigm, control the narrative, right? And those who write the narrative control the paradigm. And we are currently living in a system that runs on a paradigm that does not really support anybody's needs very well. So my, radical way of addressing that is to share the information. Radical way of addressing that is to share the information. Not have to go pay the funeral director or pay the doctor or pay the whoever or pay the guru or pay thousands of dollars in some workshop that only gives you like basic fucking tools. The truth about me. A workshop that only gives you like basic fucking tools. The truth about me, if I'm being real, the truth about me is if we were really sitting in a park, I would tell you everything you asked me. I would give you all the information. If you were here in town and you lost a loved one and you called me up, I would give you all the information on how to do a home funeral. In fact, with home funerals, I don't charge for home funerals. I do, accept donation and things like that. But for information sharing, I don't charge. Because yeah, I spent all the years researching this stuff, but I did it for me. And again, the truth is that we ran into each other in the grocery store. I would tell you the information for free anyway. So it's very disingenuous for me to charge people thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars for this information when I would otherwise just give it away for free. It's making a really interesting career, but it's also meaning I'm turning my business of Move with Change LLC into a nonprofit so that I can continue to do this in a way that still makes sure that we get our bills paid. That said, I do offer coaching. Pretty much the only thing I charge for is my one-on-one time for coaching and for things that I've created. So the workshop is free. We are on day 3 of the workshop today. The Zoom link to get into the workshop is on my Patreon page, patreon.com/move with change. There's a free link to get into the workshop. There is a free link to get into the Discord. There's more content. There's more interaction. There's more time outside of the lives in the Discord. Discord is a community platform where we are building our little budding CAYA community there. So follow me on Patreon, go find the stuff there. There are other workshops. And after I finish this workshop, after we finish it today, I'm going to edit the replays so that you guys can have, so I can put it for purchase up on patreon.com. So you can show up today and get a third of the workshop since you missed the first 2 days, or you can wait until I post it onto Patreon. And again, it's not about me like becoming a billionaire from giving you guys information, because this is stuff that you can go research on your own. I mean, you can go probably get a, maybe financial aid for school and go get it for ultimately free information, because this is stuff that you can go research on your own. I mean, you can go probably get a, maybe financial aid for school and go get it for ultimately free. Like, you can go find this stuff. You can fucking Google this stuff. There's a plenty of people on TikTok and YouTube talking about this stuff too. I share with you guys the things that have been most impactful in my life. The longer you hang out, the more you'll hear more about me and my story. But these are tools that I have studied and worked with for a long time. I'm 40, by the way. I know I don't look that old. So when you're like, long time, yeah, whatever. What are you, like 15? No, I'm 40. And I've spent a lot of time with these tools, a lot of time studying, a lot of time implementing them, and a lot of time sharing them. However, about 3 years ago, I found myself in a situation where I nearly lost my life. About 3 years ago, I found myself in a situation where I nearly lost my life. And situation, I had nothing left except for me and my son. I'm a single mom. I had no energy for self-care. I didn't have any energy to go to a therapist. I didn't have any energy to take care of myself or my son or anything. But because that kid was here, I realized I couldn't kick the bucket, right? It felt like my last chance. It's like, okay, muster what little bit you have. And what did that look like? That looked like me dropping all the complicated, cool, fancy shit that I had learned and starting with the most simple, foundational pieces. Wash, rice, carry, water, breathe in, breathe out. Wake up, go to sleep. Notice all the colors in the room. Just be. And what I found was me. But before I found me, it took a little while. Before I found it took a little while. Before I found me, all the layers of guilt and guise, all the layers of doubt. You know, I was raised Catholic and became an interfaith minister about 10 years ago now, actually. This is my 10th year. But there's a depth of faith and surrender that I had never experienced before those moments. I mean, I have communed with Christ many, 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 many times over. I mean, he was my guy when I was younger. This was like every fucking night I was talking to him. Every fucking night I was asking, how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you have a heart in this world? How the fuck did you do this? Thank you, friend. Because I always felt so in this world. How the fuck did you do this? Thank you, friend. Because I always felt so to hold that heart. Of course I wanted to save the world. Of course I wanted to fix the world, right? And what little kid doesn't? I want to heal everyone. But I didn't heal me first, right? And what little kid doesn't? I want to heal everyone. But I didn't heal me first. I chose to do what most people in this Western culture, I think, get the message of, is like, no, you should martyr yourself. Oh, you want to take care of people? That means you need to not take care of yourself at all, wait for others to meet your needs, and just double yourself over to give up everything you fucking have. You know what that is? That's an imbalanced heart chakra. That's my heart chakra being so fucking wide open that it's just screaming energy out of my system. And when that's going on, I don't receive love in the same way, because what happens when you got a pipe or a channel and there's air or water just through that thing? Is there any backflow? No. It was in those days and weeks and months of just showing up every day for 15 minutes. I'd set a timer and I made a commitment. Again, like I said, I couldn't do self-care. I couldn't do the meditations. I didn't want to fucking breathe. I was too mad. I was too shamed. So I made a timer. I set a timer for 15 minutes every day. And I rolled out my mat for 15 minutes every day. And some days I threw a tantrum. Some days I cried. Some days I screamed. Some days I just kicked and beat the mat. Some days I just laid there numb. Some days I just listened to all the shame and guilt just berate the fuck out of me. And then I started to breathe deeper. And then I started to find quiet moments in between the tantrums. We are taught here in the West that we have to use force and that we have to fight and we have to do. We're taught to be human doings. There's nothing you have to do for surrender. Surrender is letting go. Surrender is cultivating the inner strength to just be without the need to act right away. And when we start to experience this, we start to realize how all of that doing has actually broken trust with ourselves. It's broken trust with ourselves. I think that is one of the things that I see in way too many people, is a lack of trust, a lack of valuing the self. But it comes with the culture. It comes with the paradigm that says as soon as you're born that you have to do something to get your needs met, right? When a baby is born and they're working on that, balancing that root chakra, informing their root chakra for those first 6 months, if they're not met with the evolutionary expectation that our bodies have built in, which is closeness, mostly just closeness, safety, security, being cared for by their caregiver. If for some reason, I don't know, say Dr. Sears told you to leave your kid crying in a crib and let them just scream until, let them cry until they cry it out. Sears told you to leave your kid crying in a crib and let them just scream until, let them cry until they cry it out. That and sacral chakra imbalance. Your sacral is about your ability to get your needs met, nourishment, intimacy, closeness, security, safety, love, compassion, right? But not compassion from this place, but nourishment, intimacy, closeness, security, safety, love, compassion, right? But not compassion from this place, but compassion from, hi, sweet baby. How are you? Hi. Let me massage, let me rub your hair. Let me kiss your toes. Some of us don't get those things. And when we don't, and when our culture teaches our caregivers to let us cry it out and to slap a diaper on us and teach us to ignore our body's impetus to eliminate, When our culture says, no, you're supposed to eat and sleep at these times, and you're supposed to eat this much every single time. And if our culture says, no, you're supposed to eat and sleep at these times, and you're supposed to eat this much every single time. And if you're not hungry, it's lunchtime, sit down and eat. No, you're not done. You're still having food in here. All of these little ways. I'm not saying this. Hungry. It's lunchtime, sit down and eat. No, you're not done. You're still having food in here. All of these little ways. I'm not saying this for you to guilt or not going to help. So let's push it to the side. Let's move out of guilt and shame and look instead at this is the enculturation process. In child psychology and human development, we study the enculturation process. It's something that every single human goes through. And that experience is the stage of absorbing everything around you. Why are we absorbing everything around us? Because my body, first and foremost, is tasked with survival. I have to stay alive. If I'm going to with survival, I have to stay alive. If I'm going to thrive or so my body does that job in the best way it knows how. And when I'm really young, my brain is not conscious in the way that it is when I'm in my 20s and 30s. So my body uses what it has. And that's my energy. Greg, you missed the guided meditation. We did a whole 30. My body uses what it has. And that's my energy. Greg, you missed the guided meditation. We did a whole 30-minute meditation. Load the replay on YouTube. I am Move a Change on YouTube. But we did a great meditation today with our Mudra. For those of you just joining, the 30-minute meditation. Load the replay on YouTube. I am Move a Change on YouTube. But we did a great meditation today with our Mudra. For those of you just joining, the Mudra for this of this Mudra, you'll get a new Mudra tomorrow, but the Mudra this week is the Dharmachakra Mudra. Bring your index finger of this Mudra, you'll get a new Mudra tomorrow, but the Mudra this week is the Dharmachakra Mudra. Bring your index finger and your thumb, bring them here to the heart. Leave the right hand where it is, drop the left inward and touch the middle finger of them. Bring them here to the heart. Leave the right hand where it is. Drop the left inward and touch the middle finger of the left hand, the index and the thumb on the right. This is the Dharmachakra Mudra. We hold it here in front of the heart. It facilitates deeper breathing. It strengthens the lungs and the heart chakra, clarifies the heart chakra, and also serves as a mirror for us to understand the interconnectedness in all things, right? Serves as a mirror for us to understand the interconnectedness in all things, right? The interconnectedness, the unity within all things, and thusly facilitates compassion and empathy in the heart. So yeah, when we're growing, these really early stages, we're little sponges, we're absorbing absolutely everything, and our brains are unconscious. This is my favorite, one of my favorite things I learned in humans are unconscious. This is my favorite, one of my favorite things I learned in human development and wellness times over, because it changes everything. Your brain is in the theta brainwaves until the age of 8-ish. What is the theta brainwaves? That's REM sleep. Is in the theta brainwaves until the age of 8-ish. What is the theta brainwaves? That's REM sleep. And we're like super deep meditation. Maybe somebody got there today into meditation, but I doubt it. So for the first 8 years of your life, you are in the dream time. And you are absorbing every bit of information, whether you're awake or asleep, walking, talking, interacting, or alone. All of it. This informs your system how to survive. You don't need your brain to figure that out. Your body needs to figure it out so we can live. So it develops energy patterns, energetic habits to keep you safe. If it's not safe for me to feel comfortable and grounded in my body for some reason, for example, in my situation, there was a lot of physical violence when I was growing up. So my body was not safe at all. I could not control what the big, scary people did with my body growing up. So my body was not safe at all. I could not control what the big, scary people did with my body. The energy there in my root chakra, it could cause very serious problems, traumas elsewhere, here in the brain, here and other places in the body. Nate, can I repeat the thing that I learned? Yeah, it's about being in the theta brainwaves. It's about that up until the age of 8, we are still in the REM sleep time, the theta brainwave time. That is the time in which your body is absorbing all of the information unfiltered by the conscious brain. It comes in and gets incorporated and becomes your energy patterns. What are your energy patterns? They manifest as ego characters. Your ego, listen to that. My body is tasked with surviving. My brain is unconscious. Now, in the West, we say the brain is the master of all the things, right? But my brain is unconscious when all this is happening. So my brain is not doing this for me. My body says, oof, so my brain is not doing this for me. My body says, oof, wait, can we put it here in the sacral? I'm going to throw a tantrum. I'm going to scream. I'm going to go run around and take things. I'm going to bite kids. I'm going to, right? Sacral, solar. This develops by the age of like 4-ish. So by the age of 4, you now have your energy patterns pretty much settled for life. Unless you re-examine them, unless you tap back in and realign them. We don't amputate or evict or starve the ego, because the ego is your ally. That energy pattern has been there keeping you safe for all of these years. Thank you. Holy shit. I have been battling my own team. Take a second. Bring your hand to your heart and offer. Don't even worry about forgiveness. Just say thank you. Because the first time I realized this, the first time this hit me in the fucking head, right? Baseball. I felt immediate guilt. But it was my mama's words. It was them words my mama said when she said, if you create an enemy of yourself, it's a battle you will fight every day. And if you fight a battle every day, you will wage that war your entire life long. Is that how you want to live? No. Then why are you fighting yourself? Because I've been misinformed. That's all. Because I've been misled to believe that my strongest allies are my weaknesses. This culture, the paradigm, the narrative has led me to turn my attention away from my guides, my higher self. Turn my attention away from my guides, my higher self, my access to wisdom. Remember, if I don't have my inner guru, self, my access to wisdom. Remember, if I don't have my inner guru, nothing, anything is going to help. I can take information from a guru. And this was how I was doing things. I read the information. I studied the information. I even practiced the information a little bit, and it all went right here, and it stayed right here over and over and over again. And when people needed information, I'd go here. Here's the information. But it's our inner guru that takes that information, trickling down. But it's our inner guru that takes that information, trickling down. We can take that kernel of information, that prism of information, and turn it around and around and around, because it's my inner guru that moves my awareness and my attention around inside my system. But again, in the West, what are we taught? This is all you have. Your awareness, your attention's right here, right? This is it. This is it. There's no other wisdom in your body and your system. Then how the fuck did I survive if my brain was in the theta brainwaves? If I was in the REM sleep time, not even fully conscious, and you're telling me that this is the primary mode of communication I have with the world? Nice try. Thank you, friend. I often say that we live in a culture that, the greatest fault, I often say that we live in a culture that, the greatest fault, the greatest from the insight, from the wisdom, from the internal sense of power and strength and interconnectedness, from the experience of living with divinity. It was during these practices, it was during these times when I was without anything. How do I even say that? I had to find a way to say that, because when I try to express this to you guys, sometimes it doesn't, I feel like I'm missing a step, or there's something else that needs to be said about it. So there must be something else to say. But the experience was essentially sitting in silence, listening to my heartbeat. And then hearing this, if you've ever had those messages from source or from guides in meditation or in dream time, right? They don't always come like perfectly written out. But the message essentially was that this is a temple. Now, again, that sounds trite. Your body is a temple. What do we mean? Well, my body is a conduit for energy, electromagnetic energy, right? We can measure that with our scientific tools. My heart creates this toroidal field of energy around me. But how does my heart create that toroidal field? Through its beat. What makes it beat? Defibrillator cells. Defibrillator cells, what do? Well, they go boom, 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 boom. And when you put them all together, they work together, and they go boom, 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 and they build this amazing, beautiful energy field all around you. But what makes them go boom, boom, boom? That energy, that life force, that frequency, that vibration, that reality, that everything in our universe is just molecules vibrating at different frequencies. The manifestation of the physical reality is due to the different frequencies at which everything vibrates. My unique vibration is kind of like a song. My unique instrument plays a song that only I can play, ever, before and again. Almost a miracle, huh? What it would take for the universe, for all of chaos and all of experience to create the perfect you miracle, and never again and never before. It was in that space that I realized that the reason we call this a temple is because it's meant to house divinity. That bubble, bubble, that life force, that vibration that moves through you is Brahman, is source, is the all, is the unity. The great is. If my temple is intended to express that song that is uniquely mine, a miracle unto itself, never again and never before, then maybe there's something to this particle of God thing. Because if we put all those different, unique, miraculous parts together, what do we have? That's a grand puzzle, isn't it? It was the sensation, the realization that God is not far away up in the sky somewhere that I got to go through a middleman and play a game of telephone to get in touch with him. He's not the bastardized effigies that people have manipulated it into. God is here. And your vessel is a temple because it is a vessel for God, because it is a vessel for divinity. And that means that every breath is a breath God takes with you. Thank you, friend. That means every sneeze, cough, and fart God takes with you. That means every tear that falls and every moment of fear that grips your heart, God feels with you. What a great way to keep people confused and feeling lost. What a great way to manipulate people away from their intrinsic personal power, is to tell them that their very divinity is somewhere inaccessible outside of them. And worse, that they have to punish themselves to make it back to that divinity. Cascadian, yeah. Brahman wants you to feel all things. It's hard to grasp, but even the dark. And I even step back from wants and more look at Brahman is experiencing all things. And so what happens? This is my other, right here. This is the illusion of creation, right? Here's creation. Here it is, the material, physical, tangible world. Look how small it is. This is actually a really good example because it's super small. The amount of tangible in the universe is so small compared to the amount of intangible. So let's go start there. Here's your tangible universe right here. What happens? I don't have sunshine today. What happens when light, consciousness, awareness, or divinity, light, the all, shines through the prism of consciousness? What happens? That light splits into all the colors that make up that light. So when we say you are a part of God. God is of you and you are of God. This is what that means. Consciousness through the prism of the tangible world becomes all of creation. And when we stand there, we go, there is no right or wrong. There is no light or dark. There is no bad and good. There is no condemnation or judgment, because the red of the rainbow is just as beautiful as purple and yellow. I'm not going to go outside after a rain and stare at the sky and be like, that rainbow, all those fucking other colors. Geez, doesn't everyone know that yellow is the only way back to God? You're a terrible, awful, whatever. Like, let me condemn and judge you unless you live the way, the color yellow. You must only live on the frequency of yellow. If you don't see God in all, you won't see God at all, at all. I am with God at all times. Mighty squishy. Blitzed? What do you mean? Like blitzed? Like blitz? Like, oh, that was great, fast and fun. Yeah. Ooh, fast and fun. Yeah. Ooh, people running around, running the world. I can guarantee you that there are people pulling strings for the paradigm and writing the paradigm who have knowledge. And I can also see very clearly that there are people running world of ignorance, with ignorance. Both. Yes, and. But again, we live in a world that perpetuates in ignorance, that promotes it and encourages it, because capitalism and the way that it lives and the way that it functions right now requires you to be ignorant of the fact that it's not supporting you. It's not good for you. It's not taking care of you. In fact, it's draining you, because it's not conducive to your self-actualization. It's not even conducive. It's not good for you. It's not taking care of you. In fact, it's draining you, because it's not conducive to your self-actualization. It's not conducive. It's not good for you. It's not taking care of you. In fact, it's draining you, because it's not conducive to your self-actualization. It's not even conducive. I'm happy to chat about doing so another time, but I don't take impromptu things. I'm happy to chat about doing so another time, but I don't take impromptu things. You can go either way. Hard to accept this one. But evil is a part of nature. We judge it as evil because we want to call, right? Judging something as evil is a judgment. Okay, this is not easiest concept. So I want to pause for a second and let everybody know that as we move down this path and talk about this, I encourage you to meet these concepts with curiosity and willingness. When we show up with, I know, we don't have space to receive. And you may have great insight. We all have great insight. The only way for us to have space to receive. And you may have great insight. We all have great insight. The only way for us to share everything. This is a big brain subject. Who's that? Cascadian. We're all still learning, yes. So hold on, let the pirates sort out who's gonna talk, because these pirates are like, let's talk about that piece. No, let's talk about that piece. Let's talk about that piece. No, let's talk about that piece. Let's simplify it, pirates, and talk about karma and dharma, because someone asked there about, is it because of karma, right? What is karma and dharma? Karma we understand as actions, right? And we think of, here in us, we think of it as simply as bad actions and good actions. If I do bad actions, I get bad karma. If I do good actions, I get good karma. It's not quite that simple. What is good and bad for you may be different than what is good and bad for me, based on my dharma. Now, we talked earlier about my frequency and my energy body and my ego characters and my divinity within, right? And this toroidal field of energy, right? So when I speak of dharma, I want to clarify here, we're not talking dogmatic. We are talking about literally the frequency with which you vibrate. Like the rainbow and like all those colors, I might vibrate more on a purplish frequency while you vibrate on yellow, and like the rainbow and like all those colors, I might vibrate more on a purplish frequency while you vibrate on yellow and rainbow and like all those colors. I might vibrate more on a purplish frequency while you vibrate on yellow, and simple as that. When we follow that, we can find our purpose and find our dharma. Holy shit. You vibrate on yellow, and simple as that. When we follow that, we can find our purpose and find our dharma. Holy shit. When I do actions, karma are actions outside of myself to interact with the tangible world. When I engage in the exchange of karma, I'm glitching more now, probably because I'm telling you something worthwhile. When I do things that are outside of that vibration, that frequency that is truly, authentically my expression, my song, right? That incurs heavy karma. Let's call it that. Runanabandha. That will put energy, that will continue to keep me tethered to the cycle of samsara and trying to clear karma and interacting with karma and doing these tangible world things, okay? When I do actions within my karma, within my frequency, within my dharma, those actions incur, if there are good karma, if there's a good or a bad, lighter karma. There's another piece to this. Karma are the actions I do to interact with the tangible world. My dharma is that which resonates within my authentic frequency, right? That matches with my authentic frequency. Kriya are actions I do within myself that do not engage me in the tangible interaction of karma, because Kriya addresses the intangible. Kriyas are really powerful because Kriyas are practices that we can do to help clear away those densities, those energies that keep us tethered to samsara. From that place, now look at the world. If I am operating, and I was, and some of us still are, and in some ways I still am, because discovering your dharma and aligning your vibration is about clarifying your system so authenticity can express itself. I need to do that with kriyas, with inner actions I do within the intangible to clarify and align my system and strengthen my system so it can sing that song and I can resonate at that vibration, at that frequency, and I can find that dharma. Now, for how long was I choosing what my culture said? Your culture does not teach you to be authentically you. Your culture teaches you from birth to start denying who you truly are. And then, can you act to get your needs met? Sure, but you have to only act in these certain ways. You can be anything you want to, unless you're that skin color or that gender or this whatever. Oh, you're from that area? No, you can't have this job. Oh, yeah. this paradigm, this culture turns us away from our authenticity and then tells us to pick something to become. In that way, facilitating and encouraging the ego characters to become stronger and stronger and stronger, and further and further and further denying your truth. So why am I tense? Why is my life falling apart? Why does my body hurt? Why does nothing seem right? Why does everything keep breaking around me? Because you're a beautiful shade of yellow trying to vibrate red. And that shit hurts. So when we look out in the world, what we're seeing is a lack of authenticity, a lack of self-actualization. And when we see it from that perspective, we understand ignorance to simply be a lack of self-actualization, not knowing, not awareness, not having an awareness of my truth, of myself, of my core essence, of the divinity that's within me, the frequency that my system is intended to resonate at. And this is why knowledge is so powerful right now. Information is so powerful because the paradigm would like you to stay in that awkward, fucking tilted sort of, let's do it. Okay, I'm ready for work, guys. No, I'm fine. Yeah, everything's good. You can't hold tension very long. When you are out of balance, you experience tension. Try balancing on a ball. Try standing on one foot. When I find center, when I find balance, all the muscles relax. There is only intention left within my system. When I lose balance and I'm trying to get that balance back, what happens? But my system is constantly tensing and releasing and tensing and releasing to try to find center. But if I am in a world where I'm encouraged to live life like this, screaming into the wind at full tilt, I am constantly in tension. Authenticity is the aligned, clarified self, speaking its truth. This is your purpose. Your Dharma is informed by this purpose, to be truly your frequency. Self-actualization is the recognition of the intrinsic value in my truth, in my purest expression. It is not arrogant. It is not belittling and judgmental, because when I recognize that my intrinsic value is the divinity that echoes through me and through everything else in the universe, again, I must recognize the intrinsic value in you too. So if you hear somebody saying, oh yeah, I'm self-actualized, oh, I'm being authentic, and they're belittling and judging and being arrogant, they're still operating inside of ignorance. Guys, I'm checking in here. It looks like WTA at what tough. Heather and Cascading, are you guys okay here? What's going on? Rami, original sin is culture program. Well, I mean, we should dive real deep into about the the idea of original sin and the way that religion has been manipulated to control the masses. And it is the paradigm that we are living under. Is dark matter natural? Yes, there is more dark matter in the universe than anything else. Heather, what's going on, hun? I'm seeing Cascadian talking about Brahman and experiencing all things, and I'm seeing some judgment coming out of your comments here. So I'm inviting you to pause for a second and reflect, because this is a space where we're exploring expansiveness, divinity within, the unity of Brahman and Source as it moves through all things. There is a lot of flexibility in perspectives and experience, but we do not try to manipulate, use our words to manipulate and say things like, are you evil? Yeah. Again, we're talking about dropping the judgments of good and evil through understanding, resonating at our truest frequency. And now you're saying that Cascadian is hurting you. This may not be a space. Self and super self. There we go. All right, Mexican King, Warrior, and Angel coming in with this is the final war between God and Satan. Whom will I serve? Is my choice of free will? Choose God. Hello, King. Jesus Christ loves you and Satan hates you. Whom do you love and hate? Your choice. The idea of love and hate drops us right into that black and white thinking of ignorance. The either or, good or bad, is a place of ignorance, is a place of not recognizing the difference between night and day, and realizing that there are subtleties between night and day. When we are in ignorance, we are either awake or asleep. And realizing that there are subtleties between night and day. When we are in ignorance, we are either awake or asleep. It's day or night, and that's it. When we enlighten our systems, day or night, and that's it. When we enlighten our systems to the reality. There is a lot of ignorance in the world. There's a lot of willful ignorance that is encouraged by the culture and encouraged by religious structures. I personally went through those religious structures. I was raised Catholic and was going to become a nun. And God led me out of the church. Christ led me out of the church. They led me to my neighbors and my family members. They lead me to open my heart and create space for my fellow humans, rather than try to perpetuate some sort of open my heart and create space for my fellow humans, rather than try to perpetuate some sort of, and if you choose my God, then the only other choice is pure, unfettered evil. The Bible also talks about the way that Satan or that evil or that darkness can manipulate us. Our ignorance can manipulate us. Being ignorant is to be susceptible to manipulation. And when I have not examined the subtlety of life and only operate in either or, then I leave myself open for great manipulation. And that's what this culture runs on. It wants you to not ask questions and look in the in-between spaces. Don't read between the lines. Take what I told you, follow my rules, and someday I'll reward you. That is an infantile relationship that I personally would not like to engage in. I'm not a child. I don't need a sky daddy God. And if I choose that life, I'm going to keep myself further away of enlightenment of realization that it exists in life. I'm going to keep myself further away of enlightenment of the realization that it exists in here. And saying that's where the truth is, it's outside of me, and that's good and that's bad and all that. The realization that it exists in here. And saying that's where the truth is, it's outside of me, and that's good and that's bad and all that. some of the religions that operate today would have you stay weak and manipulatable. How perfect. We can just put in whatever programming we want because they're not going to question it. Because it's in line with the paradigm we've also already been writing into them, programming into them for how fucking long. You're bad, you're broken, you're intrinsically stupid, and there's nothing you can do about it. It reminds me of the moment from Danny DeVito in Matilda, where he was like, I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong. Oh, the epitome of ignorance. Right? Arrogance and ignorance. And just him screaming at this little girl who has every right to be who she is, and he just can't handle it. Catching up. I'm asking questions for why the statements used are against the ideas of gender. I don't think anybody's against any ideas of gender. We're talking about non-duality. So when we talk about gender are cultural structures, judgments, and labels that we give people. And again, I can operate from inside of those judgments and labels if I choose to present myself that way. And you have the right to do that as well. But we're not arguing about genders in here. We are talking about the expansive experience of authenticity, which means whatever it is that your experience is. I don't see anybody in here denying the existence of gender. And if you'd like to talk about biology and how and like those kinds of things, we could talk about that a little bit. I do have some education in the way of biology. But yeah. Gender, why gender is not a concept in vibrational frequencies, because it's a cultural structure. My expression is not confined within a label. I'm catching up on comments here. I'm catching up on comments here. But I'm catching up on comments here. But you not so it's your own ignorance of the fact that you are choosing that, and it's not anybody else doing that for you. And if you continue to be combative, I'm going to mute you for this particular live. You're welcome to come back another time, or you're welcome to come in the Discord and explore these concepts further in a place where we can have more in-depth conversation, because I'm not feeling good about what's going on here, especially when you're accusing other people of having some control over you. And that's ignorance. Nobody conversation, because I'm not feeling good about what's going on here, especially when you're accusing other people of having some control over you. And that's ignorance. Nobody has control, especially when Cascadian has been expressing their experience and their opinion. Still trying to catch up, guys. Rami, I tried to be a good Catholic and even went to the Holy Land, but I was not able to be one. That's, again, me too. Like I said, it was actually being raised in a Catholic church. I actually sat down and spoke to my priest at one point, because by the time communion came around, I realized I didn't belong in the church. Actually, I realized God wasn't in the church. I understand the God that was in the church, but I wanted to understand God deeper and Christ deeper. And the priest pulled me aside and said, you just clearly don't want to be here. Something shifted, right? Something big has changed. And for the first time, I think I was 12, 13. That was the first time an adult really had sat me down and wanted to hear what I had to say. And so I shared with him my experience of God. Now, mind you that I was taught by my mother about God from a sense of the energy within me. I inherited my family lineage of energy work. And so some of the first things that I learned about my relationship with God was that God flows through me, and that I have a direct connection. We all have a direct connection to it. my priest gave me his blessing. I was actually really grateful. I mean, we were in the Florida Keys, so maybe that had something to do with it. It was the biggest Catholic church on the island, and I was really nervous because there's, like leaving the church is a thing, especially when you committed to being a nun. I wanted to be a nun. So I think it gave him more, I don't know, it gave my words more weight maybe because I had been so committed. And then for him to be like, go. He didn't say don't come back. He didn't say come back. But I always felt like the way he said it was take that journey, whether you come back or not, go take that journey. Red Mama Yeti, at Jesus camp, I remember being made to beg for forgiveness from my God for existence. Again, it creates a really infantile relationship, right? Cascadian, have a great day. Thanks for hanging out, friend. Thank you, Heather, for understanding. Rami, some church leaders are opening up to others more now and than they ever have, which is a very good thing. Yeah. Feral Mormon, what? I'm sorry, God, I didn't mean for my mom and dad to hunch. What? Heather, too, and Cascadian, like, if you guys want to come into the Discord, if you're not already in the Discord, we can talk about these things way more in depth, and it creates a much better space for us to actually have deep conversations and get past the, like, limited 15 character or whatever the heck it is down there. The free link to join the Discord is on patreon.com/movewithchange. Some church leaders are waking up. Yes, actually, the reality is that more and more and more I see enlightenment moving through the church, moving through, thank you, friend, moving through the collective. Somebody asked me a little while ago, since I've been doing energy work for so long, since I've been studying media manipulation, marketing manipulation since the 90s, they asked, like, what have you seen change? What's the big change that you've seen? I come from the era of aliens still weren't real. It was really terrible and scary to have two moms growing up, right? Not terrible, but it was scary going out, right? So really terrible and scary to have two moms growing up, right? Not terrible, but it was scary going out, right? So bullshit, right? What I have seen change. Bullshit, right? What I have seen change in the last 5 years, maybe, or so. It's like years, maybe, or so. It's like we've reached the tipping point. I'm a little kid. I've been doing energy work and talking about God and like do it like, It's like we've reached the tipping point. I'm a little kid. I've been doing energy work and talking about God and like do it like, I want to be all the thing. And my personal, I want to be all the thing. And my personal experience. Intrinsically, like, I was intrinsically like, I was the annoying neighbor who hey, did you know that red 40 is like really bad for you? Hey, did you know that like titanium whatever in your cereal is actually heavy metals? Like, that's not supposed to be in your body. So what's the thing I've seen change? I feel like we've reached tipping point. Whereas for all of those years, it was really hard to talk about those things. Most people didn't want to talk about those things. Most people called me ridiculous for even wanting to talk about those things. You couldn't really find a lot of research on it. There wasn't a lot of people on social media talking about it. It was like this really fringe conspiracy people, whatever, talking about it. And in the last several years, that has come, that we've broken free of that. I see people waking up and going, what's that feeling? I see people walking back to their family, to family dinner for the first time and going, wow, can I feel that? I see people walking back into their family, to family dinner for the first time going, how can I feel that? People coming to me saying they're astral projecting and control it. I call it the quickening. People coming to me saying they're astral projecting and control it. I call it the quickening. And after all these years of trudging through, trying to talk about energy and the manipulation of the paradigm, now we can do this. I started this platform here on TikTok 2 years ago, and I've been teaching live now since March of last year. And this is the first time ever that I have had this kind of response. I've been on social media before. I've been talking about these things before. I used to be on MySpace. I was on Facebook when it first opened, right? Like, I was sharing these things. I was posting to YouTube. But nobody wanted to listen. There was no conversation to be had. It was too far outside of the norm. But now there's a tidal wave of people showing up and knocking on my door saying, what do I do? How do I handle this? How do I move this? What is this? Is this okay? Am I sane? Holy fuck. And most of my job actually these days is to remind you, you are sane. Actually, you're probably more sane now than you've ever been. And that's a beautiful thing. Jerusalem the Gold. God bless every person, everywhere. Not one nation, not another nation, not only one people or the other people, not only pine trees and not cedars, not only dogs and not cats. God bless the red color of the rainbow, but never purple. In your heart, you carry God. And God listens and watches as you judge his people. All of people are God's people. All of creation are part of God. That's like me standing here and saying, yeah, I love me, but these fucking feet are terrible. I fucking hate these. Or my favorite recently, I have heard people telling me directly that apparently God makes mistakes. There's only a select few of people that are actually special and everyone else is a mistake. Jerusalem of Gold says only one chosen people. And again, we are back in the narrative, the paradigm that keeps us divided and ignorant. There is not one chosen people. We are all one. If there is a chosen, it is all. It's hard to conceive of when we see life as day or night, black and white. When we're operating in ignorance, the darkness of our own judgment and our choice not to see the spectrum that is available of reality that God gives us and creates for us and judgment and our choice not to see the spectrum that is available of reality that God gives us and creates for us and interacts with. Yeah, Jerusalem of Gold, I am welcome to my opinion and my experience. Mine is backed by 12 years of university, 10 years as a reverend, 20 years in the field of human development and wellness, and an entire lifetime of exploring my relationship with God. And traveling the world to explore that relationship. Sitting in the Amazon with people barely clothed. Sitting in snowy ashrams. Sitting in sweat lodges. And just sitting with the trees. And never did God tell me that there was somebody who I should judge or tell me that there was somebody who I should judge or condemn. Never did Christ fill my head with this concept of, oh, you're the chosen one. You're the special one, so you should put yourself above everybody else. That's also ignorance. If you don't see God in all, you won't see all of God. You will see parts of God. Again, like looking at the rainbow and saying, only red is the correct color. Even though this entire spectrum of color and creation is here, and even though I am intrinsically ignorant because I can only see a small spectrum of color, I'm going to further adhere, hold tight to my ignorance and say, yes, I can see all of this in creation, but I know that God is tricking me. What he really wants me to believe is that there's only one good color up in the sky and the rest is a manipulation. It must be difficult to live in the thought paradigm that your God is tricking you, or your God is manipulating you, or your God is testing you. We talked about this yesterday. I don't even like to talk about the universe as testing us because it creates a need for force and combativeness. Well, Goddess, I like you say it the way you say that. Everyone is chosen, but not everyone will answer the call. We talked about dharma and purpose as the frequency at which God resonates through us. What an amazing thing to be taught that you are broken and bad and wrong, and you have to suffer your whole lives to someday be rewarded. To be taught that you are broken and bad and wrong, and you have to suffer your whole lives to someday be rewarded. That you're going to be constantly challenged and tricked and thwarted along the way. It's just a very different paradigm, and you can choose that paradigm if you'd like to. There is something to learn and something to experience in there. But in this space, we're talking about a different paradigm. Jerusalem of Gold, if you go live, send me a message, and I'll come join your live and listen to your perception of God. I would love to hear your perception of God, because the more we value each other's opinion and experience and perception, the more likely we are to actually be able to see all of creation. We don't experience God through a singular point. We experience all of God through all points. So, in my desire to enlighten my system, I'd love to hear your perspective in your life, when you go live, right? Or in your content. Send me a message, tag me in your content. I'd love to listen to what you have to say and how God looks to you. We need every part. I feel like we got deterred a little bit from talking about the paradigm today and about ignorance and about evil, right? No, I don't believe that there is evil in the world. And more often, the demons, the evil that we see and experience are what manifests within us. They are reflections of our shadows. They are our awareness devoid of light. It wasn't until that I recognized that all of my darkness was also of me. Thank you, friend. That I suddenly saw the light in my darkness. It wasn't until I stopped trying to fight myself all the time and amputate myself and pretend that some parts of me are sinful and not and bad and good, when I was trying to cut myself up so that I would fit into some kind of narrative that somebody else not and bad and good, when I was trying to cut myself up so that I would fit into some kind of narrative that somebody else not and bad and good, when I was trying to cut myself up so that I would fit into some kind of narrative that somebody else. We're struggling all these things. But when you begin to take responsibility for every choice, every action, every judgment, when you begin to take responsibility for your own ignorance and set the intention to lead yourself out of it and to take responsibility for that journey, My pirates want to say a bunch of things like, that's when you'll really experience God, but that's not fair, because that's not true, because people experience God in all the different ways. But it was in taking responsibility for all these things that I finally started to see the truth of who I really am and who we all really are. The worst thing about the world right now, honestly, is that it encourages your ignorance and it encourages divisiveness. Divided we fall. So to put up on billboards, put up as your narrative of the world that we are divided is to only perpetuate the struggle and the pain and the suffering that we have in this world. What an interesting God that would encourage you to do that. That would encourage you to condemn your neighbors. What an interesting God that would interesting God that would encourage you to do that. That would encourage you to condemn your neighbors. What an interesting God that would encourage you arrogance in your system rather than compassion. Encourage you arrogance in your system rather than compassion. Because I read the book, a couple different versions of that book, several times. And I'm not sure Christ ever said, hey, you're way more special than all your neighbors, so they should come kiss your feet, and you should judge them as less than you. That's the way back to my Father God. That's the way to recognize perfection in yourself. Interesting. I see that as a paradox. I see that as a kind of Actually, I see that more as, yes. You want to be special? You can be special. You have the choice. You want to stay here in Eden and put your blinders on and build the walls taller and never eat of the truth and fruit of knowledge and just believe whatever is told to you, whatever storybooks are read to you? You can do that. You can stay here in Eden. You can keep reading the same story over and over and over again, and it'll never change. You can deny the world outside of you. You can refuse to bring the light of awareness into your mind and just stay here in a state of, hey, ignorance is bliss, right? Stay here in Eden. Stay. It's an invitation. Because God is that compassionate. And God says, do what you will. And you can choose. Stay here in ignorance, and I will be your sky daddy, condemning everybody else and protecting only you, young child, my child. And if someday you decide to eat from the tree of knowledge and begin to enlighten your mind, know that an entire world will open to you, and Eden will never be the same for you, because you cannot. The world will open to you, and Eden will never be the same for you, because you cannot unlearn things. That is the warning. Know that if you take that truth, if you begin to enlighten your system, the world will forever change, and you will experience trials. You will experience tribulations as you journey home back to God. Enlightenment is not just some place we arrive. Enlightenment is the daily steps I take on my path to bring more awareness into my life, more insight and more understanding into my awareness. And as I do so, I expand my awareness and clarify my energy body to the extent that enlightenment becomes something I shift into. And clarify my energy body to the extent that enlightenment becomes something I shift into. Enlightenment is available to you in every moment. Enlightenment is available to you in every moment. If we choose ignorance, if you choose ignorance or judgment or, then you will not receive that light of awareness, of expansion. And that's okay. You can stay inside of Eden as long as you like. But if you like to stay inside of a box and hide inside of a box, it's a pretty silly thing for you to pop out of the box and be like, hey, everybody outside of the box, you're all fucking broken and wrong and everything's really terrible. And unless you get inside of a box and follow all the rules, you're going to get hurt. Oh. Get hurt. Oh. Wishing to go home now. What's that saying? There's a term now for it that people talk about, the desire to go home, right? To a home that's never existed. But it is a home that's existed. And it's a home that is not existing somewhere outside of you. This was the fucking thing a couple years ago for me, right? I was trying to walk myself home to somewhere outside of me. Enlightenment was somewhere I had to get to. Wisdom was a destination to get to, right? It was a thing. It was a tangible. Enlightenment was somewhere I had to get to. Wisdom was a destination to get to, right? It was a thing. It was a tangible. When I stopped searching outside of me, I found home. I found God living inside of my own heart, echoing through everything in my life, listening, watching everything in my life. What has shifted for me in these last several years, the changes in my practice, came with that understanding that home does not exist anywhere outside of me. That home is a place that I sink into, that I find, discover, not even those things, that exists already inside of me. I just got to move all the blockages out of the way that I have built around this temple. Because when I'm born into a culture that says you're not intrinsically valuable, that your body is not a temple, there's no God inside of you, you're a fucked up meat bag and you're sinful in the first place and you're dumb and you're whatever, right? The world says you're terrible. So what do? I hide my temple. I hide my God. I forget. Or maybe I don't forget and I keep it somewhere in the back of my head. But to stay safe in this world, if you walk around saying, I am a temple for God, as a child, right? Or as a teen, people be like, put her in the loony bin. Unless you actually want to go through a religious group, and then you're allowed to. Because they have the paradigm, they have the walls, they have the structure that you can follow and stay inside of, because it also leads you away from you. I no longer have the urgency to go home. Because I know that I will, choosing my words carefully, that home is finding me. That if I just keep being present with every layer as it comes up every boundary, every wall, every limitation, every fear. Rami, people now don't want to self-reflect and self-realize. They will create laws to judge each other. Yeah. And that's the greatest ignorance in the world. That's the greatest manipulation that we're seeing manifested in the world right now, is that ignorance has pushed us so far away from God that we worship the opposite of God. Conscious purchase. Why was that hard to say? Talk about plant meds. Plant medicines are a window to perceive expanded states of being. They are not the doorway to get into expanded states of being. I encourage you to practice mindfulness before, during, and after if you choose plant meds. And if you do, make sure you do them with somebody who guides you well. They are powerful tools. Badass blind woman, how do you keep yourself from falling into madness? Do you just mean me in general or plant medicines? Badass blind woman, how do you keep yourself from falling into madness? Do you just mean me in general or plant medicines? I was like, I can answer that question about me. Me in general, shenanigans. This is why you guys see so much shenanigans. Listen, the scariest, most difficult, most depressive, most dense places in my life are the opposite of laughter. Places in my life are the opposite of laughter and use shame to deny these feelings. No. Dang it. I shouldn't say dang it, because it really touches my heart every time it comes up, and it makes me tear every time it comes up. But why do I use shenanigans? Why playfulness? Because in my deepest moments with God, all I heard was laughter. In my most profound moments with divinity, that echoes, laughter echoes through absolutely everything. Imagine an entire universe created that lives on the echo of somebody's belly rolling laugh. That's what it feels like. Whether, plant medicines have helped me see that. Before I could find it in meditation. But now I find it in meditation. And sometimes I find it in my waking meditations, in my moments of mindfulness out in the world. If you feel like you've lost God, listen for him laughing. Really far away. It sounds really far away. But it's not. It's right here. I was doing this work for so long. I was losing my mind for so long, trying to do this work. But I was operating in ignorance, and I was operating in my imbalances, and I was operating out of arrogance and ego. Which, hey, isn't a bad thing. There's nothing bad about it. It's part of the experience. Hey, Corey, how you doing? That's it. That's it. That's the advice. If you feel lost, that's it. That's it. That's the advice. If you feel lost, follow. And if you can't hear it, close your eyes. Follow. And if you can't hear it, close your eyes. Stretch your follow. And if you can't hear it, close your eyes. Stretch your eye. Open your heart. One of my favorite practices to get into meditation. Hey, Farron, how are you? One of my favorite practices to get into meditation, and one of also my favorite practices for meditation. Hey, Farron, how are you? One of my favorite practices to get into meditation, and one of also my favorite practices for kind of frequency. Is to close your eyes and listen for the furthest away sound you can hear. Here, join me for a few moments. And then we will get off here. I do have group coaching at 1 o'clock. So just a FYI, if you want to join group coaching, it does have a 7-day free trial. So you can join us in the Discord for group coaching. It's going to be a slightly shorter session because I'm going to get ready for the workshop afterwards. But that is in the Discord. So just a side note. Okay. This probably for the workshop afterwards, but that is in the Discord. So just a side note. Okay. This practice. You can be laying down, you can be seated, you can be leaning back in your car. It doesn't matter where you are. We're not working with energy or anything like that. We're just working with your senses. Close your eyes and listen for the farthest away sound that you can hear. Even if you have headphones in, don't worry. It's not about the actual distance. It's about reaching. Listen for the furthest away sound that you can hear. As far away that you can possibly perceive. No need to name it or judge it or even imagine what it is. Just listen far away that you can possibly perceive. No need to name it or judge it or even imagine what it is. Just listen. You're only looking for sound as far away as you can perceive. Take a deep breath in, still listening to those sounds. And exhale, releasing those sounds as far away as you can possibly hear, and bring your hearing in a little closer to the sounds outside of the room or the building that you're in. Listen. Go ahead and release the breath. Listen for the sounds outside of the room or the building you're in. No judgment, no naming. Just listen. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, releasing those sounds and pulling your awareness into the room that you are currently in. Listen for the sounds in the room that you are currently in. Listen for the sounds around you. No judgment, no naming. Just listen. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, listening to the sound of your breath. Listen to the sound of your breath as you inhale. Listening to the sound of your breath as you exhale. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing else besides your breath. Just your breath. Inhale again, big deep breath. Hold at the top. Allow the breath to lift your heart, fill your chest. Big deep breath. And as you exhale, sink your awareness down into the center of your heart. Listen for your heartbeat. No breath, no other sounds, just your heartbeat. Your heartbeat. Listen for the sound of your heartbeat beating in your chest. Listen for the sound of your heartbeat beating in your chest. Listen for the sound of your heartbeat rattling your rib cage. Listen for the sound of your heartbeat rattling your rib cage. Listen for the sound of your heartbeat as it pumps through your shoulders and down your arms. Listen for the sound of your heartbeat in the tips of your fingers. Listen for the sound of your heartbeat inside of your belly. Feel the way it thumps. Listen for the sound as it echoes in your belly button. Listen for the way your heart beats all the way down your back, over each vertebra. Listen. Listen for the way your heart beats through your low back and down the length of your tailbone and around your hips. Listen through it echoing through your pelvic floor and into your legs. Listen to your heartbeat, the thump in the bottom of your feet. Listen as your heartbeat echoes through your entire being. Offer a gentle smile to your heart, or a big one. Offer a moment of gratitude for this heart that echoes God, echoes divinity through every fiber of my being. An echo that expands out around my entire being. Stay here as long as you would like. I highly encourage it. When you're ready to come out, I invite you to bring your hands together into prayer or simply lay them one over the other over your heart. Offer gratitude again for the practice, for the prana, for the space. Offer yourself gratitude. Thank your ego parts and body for participating. And thank you for joining me for yet another practice in our CAYA space. Before you open your eyes, I encourage you to rub your palms together and cup them over your eyes and flutter them open. It is on that plane that I can hear God laughing. If you are feeling lost and alone, if you feel like God must be somewhere fucking out to lunch, I invite you to use that practice. You guys are very welcome. I really love that one. It's one of my favorites because it's really simple and you can do it a lot quicker, right, than the way I did it. But I encourage you to take your time with that practice. Another one I like to use is to, instead of listening for the sounds far away, I will open my eyes and I will look for the colors in the room. This is one, again, we talk about the prism, right? And the rainbow and how the light of consciousness or the light of divinity shines through the prism and breaks into the spectrum, right, of all the colors. So when I feel lost, when I feel alone, when I feel scared, when I feel disconnected, especially if I'm in a public place when I can't really close my eyes or use a mudra or something. I mean, I can, but if I'm feeling like I don't want to do those things, then you just use your perception to look all around your space and you find every color that you can find. You start with one color and you move through all the colors. Just as a way to connect again, just as a way to bring your senses into the present moment, into where you are in the here and now. The paradox, actually, the irony, is that when we spend our time in the here and now, we get to manipulate space and time. When we are outside of the here and now, pulling ourselves into the future or dwelling on the past, we don't have the full capacity of our power in the here and now. And time and space manipulate us. Only being present in the here and now can you receive these gifts more fully. Because the universe will keep throwing gifts at you. As long as you're alive, the universe is going to keep throwing gifts at you. When we judge certain gifts as good or bad, and there goes my coffee. All right. Time out. Coffee went down and my neck just kinked. So it might be. Thanks, pretty tits. Oh. Okay. Oh. All right. Well, that's probably my cue anyway. It's 12:30, so we have group coaching in a half hour. You can go grab a membership for group coaching on patreon.com/move with change. We do group coaching once a week on at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Saturdays. But if you just want to come try it out, you can come join us in the Discord and you can pop into the group coaching. And if you like it, you can grab a membership. If not, you don't have to. Remember, information is free in this place. It's not about me nickel and diming you. It's not about, Brooke, that made my heart happy when you talked about the universe sending us gifts. Thank you. My neck needs all kinds of things. I recently got some diagnoses. I now have official labels. To call these things. So expect that you guys are going to be seeing more content, yoga content specifically, on how to deal with some of these specific things. Welcome back to the material side of reality, right? Smash, smash, boom. You're right, Robin. I had a rough landing. The link for the Discord. I can't share it in here because I have to pop off and come back in. If you want the link, send me a message here on TikTok. I will make sure that I check my messages all the way up until 1 o'clock. Otherwise, you can go to my patreon.com/move with change page. And right there on the front page, it says join our Discord, free link to join our Discord. Or you can send me a message on here. And then once you join the Discord, you can share here. Yes, go for it, Leb. Can people copy paste though? I don't know if you can copy paste in here. Because it's usually Discord / and a bunch of numbers and letters. I used to have a bit.ly link, but it doesn't work anymore. I don't know, Discord. So, yay, yeah, of course. Have fun, guys. Have a good day. Okay, group coaching at 1 o'clock from 1 to 2. It's an hour group coaching. And then afterwards, we're going to go into the final group coaching at 1 o'clock from 1 to 2. It's an hour group coaching. And then afterwards, we're going to go into the final of our home funeral workshop. If you want to show up today, you can show up today. It's a free workshop. Information is free in this space. Here's the link. If you guys can copy, it's a free workshop. Information is free in this space. Here's the link. If you guys can copy /move with change, and you can also send me a message, or you can send Leb a message as well. The workshop itself is free. If you come and join the workshop, you can take down all your notes and ask all your questions and get all that information. After we close the workshop today, I'm going to do the edits and things like that for it and put it all together so that you can purchase it, so you can download and keep the information. This is the way that I balance giving away free information and also making sure that there's an exchange for the time I spend on things. So if you want to purchase it, download it, and keep it for yourself, great. If you want to join us today and get the last bit, the third part, a third of the information, you can do that too. Today we are going to talk about the actual ceremony piece. 2 days bit, the third part, a third of the information, you can do that too. Today we are going to talk about the actual ceremony piece. 2 days ago, first, how to have the conversation and what death looks like, how to not plan for death, but how to plan for the unexpected and how to recognize death. And then yesterday we spoke about the first 3 days, plan for death, but how to plan for the unexpected and how to recognize death. And then yesterday we spoke about the first 3 days, and we only covered 3 days because most people are not going to be keeping family members home longer than that. It's rare occasion that you do. And today we're going to actually do the ceremony piece. So I will show you how to wash, anoint. We'll talk about oils, and we'll talk about oils. We'll talk about some prayers and things like that I have that I like to use. We'll talk about how to transfer a body, like move a body, how to redress a body, how to deal with rigor mortis if rigor mortis has set in, how do I reposition a body, how do I soften rigor mortis. Yes, you can actually soften rigor mortis for like a little while, temporarily, if you need to reposition somebody. What to do if the death is totally unexpected and you have to do this after an autopsy, because that's not really fun. We'll talk about all those fun things today. That will be on Zoom, actually, and the link is on my Patreon page as well. The link for that workshop is on Patreon. The link for Discord is on Patreon. This is Ajna. He needs to go outside, so I'm going to bring him outside, and then I will see those of you who want to join us at group coaching at 1, and if not, the workshop is right after at 2, or maybe more like 2:30. Did I get a good spot? Is that a good spot? Oh, you get you. Yeah, we'll get you. So, if you're in the Discord, if you just come to the Zoom meeting, you'll only get this little piece from today. If you come into the Discord, we have a whole section about that we've been doing, like reflections and activities and stuff like that, and there's more content there. So, I will give him extra scritches for you, Leb. All right, loves. I will see you in all of those places. Remember, comment on my content, ask questions so that I can make videos for you and make more content. If we interact with the content enough here on TikTok, TikTok will actually pay me for doing free classes. Let's make that happen. Okay. All right, dog. Let's go. Let's go. Outside. Let's go. Go. Okay. I'll see you guys later, and I will download and re-upload this to YouTube. I apologize to everyone watching this, later when they're watching it on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. The internet wasn't working. So here's the replay. Next time, just download TikTok and come join us on the place, because this is kind of the best place to do lives. Anyway, I love you. I'll see you later. Have a great fucking Saturday, you beautiful beast, you.